Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of people connected from different parts of the world, from South Africa, from Hong Kong, from Central Asia, and also from Europe. Thank you so much for joining us today and coming to this webinar. Let me formally introduce myself just for you guys to have an idea and know who I am. My name is Rudy Stanley. Not only will I be the host for today, but I'm also in charge of sales over here in Wastel. With our team, we help customers daily on how to improve their engagement with their customers and build strong relationships using WhatsApp. So today's webinar is conducted or focused mainly on using WhatsApp as a marketing tool for education sector. This means for universities, for online courses, for academies, or any institution that is related to education and wants to learn more on how to use this powerful tool. So let me tell you that if you are today here, you are at the right place. I'm considering about giving a few access to a few people because it's 11:01, but we can go ahead and give them at least, let's say, 2 more minutes for them to continue logging. All right. And in the meantime, let me tell you that over here in Worcester, we are currently helping not only educational institutions, but institutions and organizations from different industries, a healthcare industry, automobile sector, etc. Okay, so many of the use cases some of them, not all of them, could be reapplied to different sectors. So we're going to be taking a look at them. All right. With no more delays, let's begin today's webinar. So today we're going to be giving you tools, advices, use cases on how to use WhatsApp as a very, very powerful marketing tool in the educational sector. With that being said, what are we actually going to be covering? So we will be explaining in depth what are the three versions of WhatsApp. That's the first one. Why should your educational entity or organization be using WhatsApp at this point? What are some of the features? How can I use it? The functionalities, and of course, the use cases according to different types of problems that we have encountered. And we will also give you the solution on how to solve those problems or the necessities that you have in your business. All right. Besides that, we're also going to be speaking about how you can use WhatsApp for marketing in your educational organization, also in sales, and also, of course, for customer service. And we will share with you some of our most renamed successful stories. Right? So as you can see, it's a really, really good content. Now, you might ask yourself and say, who is Wastel? Who are you? Yes. So Wastel is a business solution provider. This means that we are totally authorized by WhatsApp to build solutions on WhatsApp Cloud using their API, right? So as you can see over here, we have an omni-channel platform in which you can connect Instagram, Facebook Messenger, web chat, and of course, WhatsApp. And through time, we've helped many companies from different sectors and industries, such as, for example, fast food by McDonald's and also PlayStation. You can see some of them over here. And of course, we have also posted a lot of successful stories that have been used by Meta on their blogs and posts. You can see some of those companies are Organic, ChickMe, and so forth. And since when did we start doing this? Well, we actually started back in 2019, and we were basically trying to help companies improve their results, either in conversion rates, sales, engagement, report with their customers, etc. And we do this by boosting their operations and giving them control over their operations, being able to express to their customers what they really want, driving the conversation using perhaps templates, bots, and other resources. Right? Okay, so in the meantime, we have around more than 1,000 companies that rely on Wastel and that trust us as their business solution provider. Great. So we have a little bit over here about the different history of how WhatsApp has been used in education. So, as you already know, and the main reason why a lot of people are here today is basically because they understand that email and SMS and phone calling is something that is already dead. Customers don't want to pick up the phone, customers never check their SMS, and email has a low conversion rate of almost 16%. And this is basically because the boomers, of course, this generation, it grew up using phone calls, SMS, and email, of course. But the WhatsApp technology is something more related, perhaps, to the new generations, which is basically the millennials, the Generation C, etc. They're the ones using WhatsApp for almost anything. And throughout this path, you might have encountered that perhaps you, as an educational organization, you want to target the students who are probably in these ages, but they don't take your phone calls. And this is because they are using WhatsApp to communicate. All right. So many companies have been able to adopt it, but some others haven't. They haven't been able to follow this market trend to communicate with their right target. Right. They want to continue either using email or phone call. All right. So, one of the few things that we can rescue from all of this investigation, all this research that has been going on, is the fact that the market average of, for example, educational organizations that are using calls or emails is lower. All right. So, this implies a lot of things. Basically, that your main target is either rejecting you on the traditional channels because you're not communicating to them in the right channels. And which is that right channel? WhatsApp. And this is why you're here today. So the trend is that many of these institutions have realized that and have started including a WhatsApp button on their page, or perhaps a WhatsApp phone number in which they can chat with a chatbot. This is the new trend. All right. And the reason why you're here today is because you want to differentiate from all those organizations that are using the old school ways. Okay. Now, what do we exactly know about how the world is using social media? And this is probably something that is not new to you. You have already seen this. So the main social network is Facebook, of course, YouTube, and of course, WhatsApp. All right. So you can see over here that more than 2,000 million people are using WhatsApp nowadays to communicate in the educational field. Now, further on in our presentation, we will speak about the different ways in which you can use this. Okay. So over here, we have three different versions of WhatsApp that we can use. All right. The first one is the one used to communicate from a person to another person. This is basically what we use to communicate with our friends, our family. All right. And on the other hand, we also have WhatsApp Business, which is basically used for a person to communicate with a small business or a medium-sized business, perhaps let's say, a retail store, right? Or perhaps for food, also for restaurants or bistros, if you want to call it that way. And then we have, for example, the WhatsApp Cloud API, which is basically focused on bigger organizations, corporations, global institutions, companies that have different teams in different parts of the world, perhaps, and they want to have different numbers, but they want to use WhatsApp. Okay. So you basically already know that, for example, with WhatsApp Business, you cannot have simultaneous conversations at the same time. It either freezes, it goes very slow, or it will disconnect you at the end. Whilst with WhatsApp Cloud API, you can have several conversations at the same time with no problem. All right. With that being said, let's take a look at more on our presentation over here now that we have discussed the different versions. Now, why don't we speak about the different features that WhatsApp Cloud API has to offer? Okay. So for WhatsApp Cloud API has to offer, there are a lot of things that we can do. You can see, for example, functionalities that go, for example, from live chat all the way to chatbots. And the reason why I'm comparing both is because you either have the opportunity to have a live conversation with your customers, or you can use chatbots to do the first part, pre-qualify leads, capture important information, etc. All of that information can be done there. Okay. So as you can see, it's really, really easy to use. Okay. Now, the other part is the push notifications. This is really important because you can launch your own campaigns to your customers, let them know about special product updates, new features that are on board, or anything new related to content that you might want to share with them that is important for your audience. Okay? So you can do that all here. Okay? Now, let's take a look at more over here. We have, for example, automations. This is basically one of the main reasons why a lot of institutions look for us because they want to send reminders, they want to send updates on the delivery of a product, or perhaps share a link with their audience so this will help them close a sale. Okay? So you can do a lot of things for that. Now, another important feature over here is the integration part. Let's say that you have your own development, you want to use our APIs, okay? You might as well can do that. We also integrate with other solutions such as Zapier, okay? That will help you automate other tasks. And besides that, of course, as I mentioned before, the live chat and then the opportunity to have chatbots. Now, why should your institutional education should use this? The main reason is because you're going to be covering three important facts. One is the open rate, the capacity of the people that you send this information to open all of the different things that you want to use. Okay. Now the click rate, if you post something on social media and you want to increase this with WhatsApp, you can achieve it 12 times more and achieve a 40% click rate. Now, on the other hand, for example, the conversion rate, which is basically where all the companies focus a lot on, because at the end, what you want to do is convert all of your leads into sales. You can actually achieve 20 times more using WhatsApp, and your conversion rate can increase up to 3 to 5%, whilst with email, you would only achieve 0.14%. Okay, so as you can see, there are different things that you can target using WhatsApp. Great. Now that we have been able to look at this three more, that I'm going to share something with you that's going to be very, very important. I'm going to share a poll with you. So please, please participate. Give us your feedback and your answers. Okay, I'll leave it there. Take your time to reply on it. It's really easy to answer it. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next part. What are the main solutions then for the educational sector? How can I use this in my university, in my courses, etc.? You can use it, for example, for marketing. If you want to go ahead and relate information to your students about the new opportunities to enroll in new courses or new classes, or perhaps give them access to an early bird. You can also do that. In sales, you can use it, for example, to sell your books, your digital books, or perhaps give them the chance to participate on a workshop. There are different ways in which you can use it in marketing and sales, definitely. What about the student service? You want to inform them about new educational material, new resources that you have online, new videos that have been uploaded to your media library. You can do that as well. So it's very, very important. It's very efficient to be using this in your business. Okay. All right. Remember that we also have a small box that's called chat where you can leave all of your questions, okay, or any doubts that you might have. Thank you, River, for greeting us. Greetings to you as well. Thank you. Okay, so you can basically use it for two different things: marketing, sales, and student service. As you can see, something that's really important that I want to highlight, and this is basically something that we always tell our customers, is the fact to have access to push notifications to inform, for example, your students about the new materials that you have on your library, or the new classes that have been opened, or if there was a class that was canceled or a teacher that was changed, you can also inform your students about it. So there are different ways in which you can use it. You can even use them to inform them about the new dates in which they can start enrolling for the next course. Okay, so there's different uses to that. Now, in marketing, for example, you can generate conversations. Let's say that you are at a workshop, you have been explaining all of this about your university, about your courses, and perhaps you want to share with them a QR code so you can engage them into a conversation and start speaking to them. This will actually initiate the sales process. So instead of doing this in a face-to-face interaction, you can hand out this QR code so they can scan it, they can get the information about your company, and jump into WhatsApp to start speaking to an academical enroller, for example, or an academical advisor, or anyone from your institution that can help them in any question or inquiry that they might have. All right. So the better your qualified lead is, the more results you will get. So it's always really important for lead generation to have qualified leads. Okay, now on the other hand, there is another way, which is automatic lead generation. So for example, we have encountered this with a lot of institutions and universities that they tell us, yes, but we are getting bombarded by a lot of messages from people that at the end are not interested. Let's say that 100 contacted us, but only 10 are truly interested. How can we manage this? Well, there is a solution for that. If you really want to attract new students, or perhaps you want to collect data from them, or on the other hand, you want to pre-qualify them, you can use WhatsApp for that. How about having a chatbot that is able to identify this by giving your students a couple of questions to answer? For example, it could be, what is your name? When are you interested in starting to study? Which master or course are you interested on? Okay, do you have, let's say that they're planning to start a master's degree. Do you have a bachelor's degree already? All of that information just to identify if the student is really your target or not. And then the bot can transfer the communication or the conversation to a live agent so the live agent can finish the enrollment. So this is a perfect way of you to have your staff focus only on closing deals instead of having them had to do all of this pre-qualification part that at the end can be very time consuming. So at the end, everything is about automating. Great. And what about sales? How can I use this? Well, you might encounter, for example, that many students have a lot of questions, and the questions can be the same one from one student to the other. So instead of doing that, why don't we just go ahead and have a chatbot that can answer all of those questions? Okay, so you can have your chatbot display a list of options, the student selects it, and based on that, you can start answering the question that the student has. Oh, I have a question regarding new courses, for example. So the student selects new courses, okay? And the chatbot asks, what are you interested on? Are you interested to know the dates in which you're starting, the prices, etc.? So all of that, a chatbot can manage it. So it's a really, really useful technology that you can implement in your company, in your business. And probably by using our bots, you can save a lot of time and money as well. I'll show you later how, okay? Now, what about student services? So these are very recurrent questions, and they can be very exhausting for your team to be answering the same questions over and over. So imagine the academic advisor is ready to enroll a student that is interested, but is getting bombarded by 10 different people with the same questions. So at the end, it's all about relaying this type of responsibilities to a certain type of automation or bot. Okay, so this will actually help them a lot. Okay, you can either use a frequently asked question, you can divide it into different categories, as I explained before: pricing, new courses, teachers, academical staff, research, anything that the students can ask, and that way they can select from the drop down of options. Okay, I think it's very, very useful, and you can use this. So over here in Spain, because we are based in beautiful Spain, our offices are in Valencia, Spain. Okay, we work with one of the top major institutions of Spain, which is IMF Smart Education. So what they basically do is that they have a great variety and a huge catalog of courses and masters that they offer. Okay. And they started using our technology. They have been able to reduce a lot of time from their agents answering questions that are always the same. They have been able to increase their conversion rate drastically. Last time that we measured, it was over 8%. Before it was only 1% more or less because they were using a combination of different tools. Okay. So this actually helped them boost their sales a lot. Okay. And they were also using it to integrate it with Soho Desk, which is, as you might know, we have a native integration with Soho. And they were able, of course, to manage a lot of inquiries at the same time because this prevents you from having a queue. It's very frustrating sometimes that you want to contact businesses, that you want to contact companies, and you get a message that says, oh, the waiting line is 5 people before you. The waiting time will be approximately 40 minutes. Okay. So you can avoid all of that by having a chatbot on WhatsApp instead. With the chatbot, you can eliminate queues, you can eliminate waiting time, you can eliminate human mistakes also, and you can instead increase your conversion rate because your staff is going to be truly focused only on closing deals or adding value to your business. If your interest is also adding value, you can obtain it by using a chatbot. Okay, because you can nurture your students, you can provide them with the information that they need, you can provide them with the resources that they want. All right. So basically, this all relies on improving customer engagement. Okay, so before we go to that last part, oops, I show you something that I should have not, by the way. I want to know if you have any questions for me because you've all been very quiet. I'm not sure if you have understood everything that I said or you're just bored by everything that I'm saying or both, who knows? Okay. Or I just have the perfect class. Everyone understood everything that I said. Okay, great. So let's go to our demo because this is really important for me to share with you. Please type on the box that you are actually seeing my screen. Can everyone confirm that you're listening to me and that you're seeing my screen? It was so funny because last time I started a demo and I was not actually sharing my screen. So I had to go back and repeat the whole demo again. So I want to confirm and make sure that everyone is actually checking my screen. Okay, it seems like you do. Thank you for that confirmation. Now, you remember that I was speaking about using different templates in education? Okay, right. So why don't we just go back here to wastel.com. We have a section called resources. And under the section of resources, we have something really important that is called template gallery. So let's click on it. So as we've been speaking to several companies from different industries, we have come up with the idea of having a chatbot template gallery. And the whole purpose of having this over here is for you to use it, okay? And the way that you can use it is just simply by selecting the template that you want. You click on download, okay? And if you're still not sure if this is the right template for you, you might as well can test it out. Yes, you can test it before downloading it. So why don't we just go to education? We select any of the ones that we have here. As you notice, we have 7 different template that you can use. We have for event reminders, we have for newsletters, we have for surveys, we have for recommending products, we have for lead qualification, etc., etc. Also for exam and giving out rewards. Oh, I love this. I'm going to try that one. Okay. So if you still want to try it out before downloading it, you can click over here where it says click here. You will be redirected to WhatsApp. And on WhatsApp, you will be redirected here. Okay. So let me just click on continue to chat, WhatsApp web. Okay. And we are here. Okay. Let me just click here. This is the exam reward. Use WhatsApp web. And here we are, okay? So as you can see, we have something over here that says but exam reward education, which is the one that I wanted to test it out, this one right here. And I want to test it out just to see how it works before downloading it and using it with my audience. So I click here. I want to test the template box exam reward and see my bot is responding in 2 different languages. Okay, I'm one bot to read them all, la la la. A bot is never late with a special code. And with this chatbot, you can create exams on WhatsApp so your students can fill them out and they will win a prize. Okay, so let's click on Start Chatbot. Okay, once we do this, it's going to start. Hi, welcome to Salvador School Exam Bot. This is a subject related to literature, and the teacher is going to be Paula Williams, etc. You can add a description. You can even include the terms and conditions, okay, if there's someone interested on. And if you answer all the questions correctly, you will receive a surprise. So let's click on Accept. Okay, so I can write over here, my name is so forth. Okay, and as you can see, it's collecting my data, it's asking for my email and more information, right? I'm just going to invent this email. Okay. But what I want you to see is that you can create your own questions, or you might as well can use this same template. So here we start with the exam. Who wrote Treasure Island? So you have to select an option. All right, so I'm going to write Robert Louis Stevenson. I'm not sure about that answer, by the way. Who wrote Don Quixote de la Mancha? Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, letter C, and so forth. So you can have several questions, and the person can be able to reply on it on WhatsApp. And what you're speaking to your student in the same channel that they like. Let's say that in my perfect world, I love this template. This is the template that I want to use. Okay. So I decide to download this template. So basically what I have to do real quick is just click on download, click here again, and then just copy the JSON key file. And once I have that, I will just go to my platform, Wastel, and put it there. Okay. There is an option that you can use to import the stream. Okay. Let me just show you real quick. So this will take you to the platform. And then inside the platform, you have the capacity to either create a tree from 0 steps. That means create your own bot, or you can import the tree. Okay. So you can select the file over here and just select any of the options that you have here. So this is the one, and we click open and import. And in a few minutes, you will have your bot ready. Let's give it just some time to process it. And once you have verified that everything is okay with your bot, you can start using it. So you see, I took more or less than 10 minutes perhaps to have my first bot with Wastel. And now I can start sharing the exam with my students. The only thing I need to do is give them the number to my institution or my school, and they can start filling out the exam. It's taking a bit too low, but basically that's it. Okay. All right. So great. We have already taken a look at the different things that we can do with Wastel. We were able to share with you, our lovely crowd, some use cases, some history behind it, and the different areas where you can use it. But now I have a present for you. So only for a limited time, you can go ahead and start setting up your account totally free with us. We will give you 1,000 conversations per month free. Okay, just for taking the time to listen to us and stay with us. Okay, so besides this, I'm also going to share with you another poll that I have for you here. So it says, would you like a personalized onboarding session with our staff? Please click yes or click no. It's a very simple poll. Okay. And then on the other hand, are you thinking about using WhatsApp in your institution? So 100% of the attendees answer, I am using WhatsApp, but not Cloud API. Okay. So it's good to know this. This is your time to make that change to Cloud API, because with Cloud API, as we mentioned, you can increase open rate, click rate, and of course, conversion rate. Because if you're not a public institution, if you're a private one, you're interested in converting those new leads or prospects of students into enrollments, right? Okay, so 100%, just to share some feedback, answer that they would like to have a personalized onboarding. So don't worry, our staff will contact you and will also give you the steps in order to get this 0% setup, onboarding, and 1,000 conversations per month. Okay. All right. So if you want to go ahead and book a session with us, we are totally okay with that and happy to have you in a session. My team and I are ready to explore the different options that you can use with WhatsApp in your institution. So I'm sharing the link over here inside the box. All right. It's actually our phone number. Okay. And there you can ask for a session. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a real pleasure to have you today. We look forward to onboarding you soon and setting up those accounts for free. Okay, so go for it. Don't forget to do it. And please, remember that if you have any questions, anything that you found interesting, or anything that you would like to know, do not hesitate in contacting us. We are here to help you. We have almost a 24-hour service, okay, depending on the region where you are. And we serve in 3 different languages. So don't forget to send us your questions. I'm also sharing the link so you can start for free. It's the last one, this very last one here. The first one was to talk to us and schedule a demo. And the second one is to set up your account for free. So thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope you have a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you for listening to me. Bye-bye. See you next time.